I'm in a place I wanna be. I'm fighting. Hey everybody, I'm John Taglieri from The Fit Show. How you doing today? We wanted to bring you a little interview series so that you could get to know Jeff and I and our motivations behind The Fit Show. Jeff is about to start his journey on weight loss and on getting in shape. So we want to sit with him today and we're going to talk about what his motivations are, why he's doing this, what his goals are, and some of his history. So, hi Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Good man, how are you?
Great.
So, tell everybody who you are and what's going on.
Well, I'm Jeff, and I'm a regular dude. I'm a dad of 3, and I'm trying to get healthy, trying to get back in shape.
When's the last time you were in shape?
So I used to be kind of a fitness nut, believe it or not, and I about 5 or 6 years ago, I was in the best shape of my life, and then I had my first daughter. Well, I didn't have her. My girlfriend Courtney had our daughter, and since then I've slowly but steadily just gained more and more and more, and finally got to the point where we said, you know what, enough is enough. It's time to do something, and I'm gonna try to make it happen.
Cool. Yeah. Now, what's your history like? When you were in shape, what were you doing?
So I grew up training and teaching martial arts, and so I was real heavy into that. I was teaching 6 days a week, and taking classes. I was teaching classes. I was usually working out with the classes, trying to push them harder. So it was mostly due to that. And then I actually was working in a health food store, and I thought that I was in the best shape of my life at the time. And the resident nutritionist there, actually, we made a bet, and he put me on his diet, and I dropped another 35 pounds.
Wow.
And so, without changing anything in my lifestyle, I thought I was already healthy. I just started eating better and dropped another 35 pounds and got down to 200 pounds.
How tall are you?
6'2".
So 6'2", 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
So real skinny. Yeah. Not like that.
Were you ripped? Like, was it like a? Were you like shredded? Both like were you?
No. I mean, definitely was definitely in shape. Had some definition for sure, but I've never been the guy that's had a six pack. I've never, I've always had a little bit of something hanging on the edge. But definitely in good shape though.
Now, what do you weigh today?
Well, I just had a weigh-in, and I was 284.8, so call it 285.
285.
So, 85 pounds is a whole person.
Yeah.
You know.
That's not a couple of pounds. That's for sure.
Right.
So, what's your goal this time? As far as where do you want to go? Like, what? First off, what's your goal? Secondly, what's the motivation this time to finally step back up and lose the weight?
Well, a couple of things. For one, I've already done it once, and so I if we go back a little bit further, before I was a health nut, I graduated high school. I was pretty skinny. I put on a bunch of weight. When I turned 21, I started drinking more beer. And
as happens,
yeah, and working in a bar and drinking beer at work and so I put on a lot of weight. So I actually was up to 300 pounds before, so even heavier than I am now.
Wow.
And I remember looking at myself in the mirror one day, and the thing that got me was I looked and I said, why do my eyes look so close together? And I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, did I get a different haircut? And it finally dawned on me that like my face had just gotten so fat that there was like fat around my face, and my eyes were like this, and I was like, oh, that was a wake up call for me. Wow. And I said, it's time to make a change. So I went from 300 pounds over the course. I don't even know how long it was. I made small changes. I cut out soda. I stopped getting extra cheese on everything. And
I love cheese.
And I was able to get down to that 235, and then when I made that bet with my friend who's a nutritionist, and that really pushed me over the edge to like, wow, now I feel great. I've I not only just being lighter, and having more energy, but also just overall in like my mental state. When you interact with people, it's funny how I've seen how somebody treats you when you're a big guy and when you're a really fit guy, and even if it's subconscious, you definitely get treated differently. And
Yep.
so
Yep.
I'm getting to that point now where I'm realizing that I'm getting treated like a fat guy, and even for a while people would say, oh, but you carry it really well, and they're trying to be nice, but really it pushes you backwards. It makes you say, oh yeah, no, I look fine, and really what they should be saying is, dude, you gotta lose some pounds,
Well, it's good when you stand next to me every week, because I'm like the yin to the yang as far as size-wise with you.
Right.
So it definitely, it gives you a point of reference to see, that, wow, I'm a little bit bigger right now.
Right. And so, I don't know. I guess I want to obviously get healthy. I want to be around for my kids. I don't need to be having a heart attack when I'm 35.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, going to be good for my mental state and just everything overall. Your body is the filter through which you experience the world. And I'm ready to get back.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah.
So this time around, what do you think the journey is going to be like? What do you think the weight loss is going to be like? Do you think you can hold the discipline together? Do you think you can mentally stay focused? Do you think you're going to be able to make the time to get to the gym? Do you think you're going to make the time to eat correctly?
Right. Well, like I said, I've kind of gone through the fitness to totally not fitness thing before, and so I have a unique perspective on it, I think. And I definitely have a lot going for me this time that I haven't had in the past, but I also have a lot of new challenges. So let's get the negative stuff out of the way. So, not negative, but challenges, I should say. For one, anybody that has kids knows that is a huge responsibility, huge chunk of your time, and it's something that not only you have to do, but you want to do. You want to spend time with your kids, and so, it's easy to say, oh, we're going to go to the park today and I'm not going to have time to go to the gym. You know what I mean? And who's going to look at you and say, no, don't bring your kid to the park, They're going to, so that's going to be a challenge, is making sure that I have enough time for my kids. 3 little girls, it takes a lot of time, but also still staying on task and staying focused. Also, another challenge is that Courtney and I both work for ourselves. So while it might seem to some people like, oh yeah, you get to be home all day, working for yourself is a hustle. That it's a constant hustle, and if you don't work, then you don't get paid. So that's going to be another unique challenge that's going to be brought to the table this time. So those, I think, are going to be my 2 main things that I'm going to have to really watch out for, is kind of a work-life balance, with also healthy life balance. As far as advantages, though, I mean, this time I've got a great support group. We've got this thing going on. I have the people here to hold me accountable.
And you better too.
Yeah. I've got a lot more knowledge. When I was younger, and I started lifting weights, I had no idea about nutrition. So I gained a lot of muscle, but I also gained a lot of mass, on top of that. And then when I lost weight the first time, I didn't know anything about nutrition. And I didn't know anything about how to do cardio, and so I've kind of learned things over the years.
Let me ask you then, if you didn't know much about nutrition, how did you lose the weight?
So when I first started losing the weight, it was all small changes. It was all so to give you a snapshot of what my life was like. This is when I was living in Nashville. I was the head of security at a huge bar. I was out till the bar didn't close till 3, so I was out till 3, and then I had to close the thing. So I'm driving home when the sun's coming up, And so on my nights off, I was out drinking. I was downtown. I was on my nights at work. After work, would sit at the bar and have a beer before we go home. So I was drinking a lot, and then during the day, I was just drinking soda constantly, nonstop. It was really hot in Nashville, and as I was gaining more weight, I was becoming a sweaty fat guy, and I would drink more soda to try to cool off, which is of course not the best way to do it. So in the immediate changes of I just cut soda out was huge. I don't even know how much weight I lost because I wasn't keeping track. I just did it just because I knew I had to make some changes.
Did you know if you drink one soda a day, one can of soda per day through an entire year, that's 18 pounds of sugar. Wow. 18 pounds of sugar.
That's crazy.
So if you just simply cut out drinking one soda a day, metabolically, that's 18 pounds of sugar you don't have to process.
Right.
Which leaves your metabolism free to work on other things.
And I wasn't just drinking one soda a day. Because we had a soda fountain, and that was what we could get for free, and the tap water was terrible, and so I would go in, and if it was, we had weeks where it was 100+ degrees out, and I had to wear pants and a black shirt for my job, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have a soda. So I would literally always have a soda next to me, always, all day long at work. So how many is that a day? Who knows?
Probably not.
Way too much. Yeah. So just cutting out soda was huge for me, and then I started to feel better, and then I just kept making small changes. Like I said, I love cheese, and I used to put a lot of cheese on everything, mac and cheese with more cheese in it, grilled cheese sandwiches, extra cheese on any sandwich you ever got. And so that was the next thing I said. You know what? All right, I did soda. I feel better. I'm gonna cut out cheese, and I didn't even cut it out entirely. I just stopped getting extra cheese. I stopped putting cheese where it didn't belong. I stopped,
but it does belong on everything,
right? And then again, dropped a couple more pounds, and then I said, all right, well, maybe I'll do this, and maybe I'll do that, and I just made small changes, and that amounted to coming down from 300 to 235, just without doing anything really other than that. Of course, I was younger, so that was easier. When I got back into teaching martial arts, I moved back home from Nashville, got back into teaching martial arts. That definitely dropped me back down a few more pounds. And then, like I said, the last part of it was that really balanced nutrition that really pushed me over the edge.
Well, that's what we're going to do this time. I know we're going to talk a lot about nutrition through the show, and we're going to have a lot of people who can help dial that in for you.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of people to help us dial that in for you throughout the show. So I think that we can get you back onto a really good nutritional plan to help you focus back to eating healthy, not just cutting out bad things, but putting in good things.
Right. I always have had fun too experimenting with different things like this. So I think that keeping an open mind is a big part of
it's huge
of making any changes, really.
Yep.
But I'm really excited to try out some new things and hear what people have to say and actually dive in and try it. So I feel like a lot of times people, they put things down before they try it because it doesn't sound right, or it doesn't, or I don't know. Or if you don't know anything about it, it might sound weird, and I'm not like that at all. I'm like, okay, that sounds weird. Let's give it a shot and see if it works.
The weirder the better.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like into this. Is the fact that we're gonna have so many people to talk to that all have different views on things is like really exciting for me.
One thing we're gonna have to do is, as we have so many different views of it, though, is disseminate what's going to work for you from what's good advice, but maybe not for you.
Right.
And that's the thing too, is not everything will work. Right. Not everything that works will work for each person.
Right.
So I think we'll focus on finding what works for you out of all of the information that we bring in.
Right.
So, and of course, we're going to drink wine while we do it. Thank you, Nantucket Vineyards, for our wine. Make sure you check them out. So 285.
285.
And we're looking to lose 60 to 70 pounds. And do you have a mental time frame? Or are you just looking for healthy? So I think the one thing I want to make sure as we go through this with you is that we don't set too ambitious of goals on the numbers as to not dishearten you if they don't come.
So that's funny because my answer was going to be my head and my heart say two different things. In my heart, I want to be healthy and skinny and attractive again yesterday. And so of course I want to make it happen as fast as possible. But in my head, I also know, like again from experience, that I want to do it the right way this time. I don't want to mess around with my health anymore. I want to make sure that when I set these goals, that they're healthy goals, that they're realistic goals, and that they are something that is going to be beneficial to my emotional state, so that I can stick on the track. So so ASAP and also not too fast.
Honestly, at that kind of weight loss, one of the things I definitely don't like is fad diets that promise you quick weight loss. That you can lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, but at the end of that 6 weeks, you're probably going to put that 20 or at least 15 of it back on, because your body didn't become accustomed to what you were doing. The education level of maintaining isn't there. I think if you lose the weight as you're learning, for the amount of weight you want to lose, we're probably looking at 35 weeks, 40 weeks, which is the better part of a year.
It's a pregnancy.
But it is. But at the end of it, it will be habit.
Right.
It won't even be habit. It'll just be lifestyle.
Right.
Which I think is, people go for the quick fix, and there's no habit and lifestyle formed.
Right.
So once they fall out of the quick fix, they go back to their habits, which got them to the bad place in the first place.
Right.
So we want to make sure we create habits for you and create lifestyle.
Right.
So that it's, at the end of this, you're where you want to be, and that's just going to be where life is.
It's just normal. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That I can tell you from, like I said before, that nutrition part that pushed me over the edge. That was why it worked for me. It was not because I was doing anything really drastic with what I was eating, but because it changed the way I thought about food, and that way I didn't necessarily want to do all the bad stuff anymore. So I didn't have to fight myself on it. Like, I really want a pizza. Like I just didn't want it. And if I did ever want it, then it wasn't a big deal because I wasn't eating 12 pizzas a month.
And that's the thing too. If you want a slice of pizza once in a while, go have a slice of pizza.
Really?
It's not habit anymore. You'll have a slice. You won't have a pie.
Right. And right now, when it's right now, my habit is, oh man, it's getting late. Kids need to eat. Let's get Domino's. Or let's order a pizza, and I'm gonna eat an entire pizza to myself, and then I'm not going to want to. I'm going to feel bad about it. But when the kids don't finish their food, I'm going to eat some of theirs too, because I can't say no.
Portion control. Portion control is a big part of it.
Right.
And that comes with the lifestyle.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think that we are going to be able to take you to a goal that you're happy with. And I think that we're going to be able to take you to a place that physically and mentally makes you feel the way you want to be feeling. And we're going to do it while we educate you guys, and while we get some of the best advice we can from some of the top professionals in our area here in Massachusetts.
Right.
So we started this past Monday, weighed in at 285. We're going to follow this journey for the next, who knows, we're going to run this show forever. And we're going to toast to your weight loss, and we're going to toast to your fitness, and we're going to toast to you guys taking the journey with us. Thanks for watching The Fit Show. I'm John.
And I'm Jeff.
See you soon.